coffee, tea, hot cocoa. And I want to show you what you can do when you get something like tea or hot cocoa or creamer or anything that comes in a packet over here. There's this nice little counter. You can open what you need, and then they did something magical. Right behind you, there's a trash can. There's a trash can. So please make sure that you go green and clean up after yourselves today. Oh man, Neil's got more magic to show. Don't pour water in the tray, please, underneath the coffee maker. It's hot water, that's plastic. This is not a good idea. You don't know when I might stop everything and say, who doesn't have any time? So if I were you, hint, I will wear your name.
Well, I can tell you that. So I invite you to share your joys and concerns with the rest of our church family as you're comfortable. You don't have to say anything. If there is a prayer or a concern in your heart, or even a joy in your heart, and you don't speak it, God still knows.
My aunt broke her hip, like a car knocked her over. That is the joy. So she broke her hip, she was in the hospital, then it got infected. But now she's finally like back home. It's healed, she's walking better, and things are better.
And we lift this up to you, God, because you are our God. Don't let anybody tell you what you can't do. Don't let anybody say you can't. Don't let a feeble mind get in your way. If you hear something that lifts your spirit and energizes your spirit and recharges some part of you, that's yours. A friend said that the Spirit woke her up, I think she said like 3 in the morning, and gave her some words for me. It was okay because I didn't hear the call come in. So I gave her a message later, and just about every day since then, it's been about, I guess it's been 2.5, 3 years, I say this every morning. I've missed some, and some days I say it more than once because I need to hear it more than once. Hear these words from Betsy Jackson. I qualify everything in my world with perfection because I am perfection. I qualify this mind and this body with absolute perfection and refuse the acceptance of anything else. I am the miracle, and I am the presence compelling its manifestation through divine love, wisdom, and power. So let it be said, so let it be done. I am the perfect harmony over my thought, feeling, and action. If the whole thing doesn't mean anything to you, if 1 or 2 words mean something to you, and it lifts you, and it supports you, and it guides you, and it reaffirms that you are a child of the Most High God, then it's done the job. Because I think the world out there would rather you didn't think of yourself in terms of perfection. But you are the perfection. Your mind and your body accept perfection. Live that perfection. give joy to your perfection. So take any of that, any of those words that mean anything to you, that lift you, that guide you, that make you feel better, that make you feel more whole, that make you feel more grounded, that make you feel like I have a place in this world and I will not be denied. Because each of us is the perfect harmony over our thought, our feeling, and our action.
Now I know when you scrape the plates you think this is kind of gross and why am I doing this and ugh. But they said it's saving them lots of time when they need to wash the dishes, and that the other camps don't do nearly as good a job as we have been doing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2,
Whatever duck it is you imagine. Okay? Now open your eyes and look at me. If you vote that the duck will win American Ninja Warrior, I'd like your hand. I'm just looking to see who's getting KP. It's not a problem. Bring it on. Sorry, 56 for the duck. If you vote for the obvious choice, Christy, please raise your hand. The total on that one was 25.
Which is actually easier, teaching Christy to grow tall enough so that she can reach the obstacles, or training a duck to run the course? I would argue that training the duck would be easier than teaching Christy to be taller, therefore the duck would finish faster.
In rebuttal to Dan, Christy would have more muscles. We trained her to have more muscle than the duck.
So, good news, as of a little while ago, the rain was supposed to be ending around 1:15. Now, if that changes, you can't yell at me because I'm not the weatherman, I just report what it says.
We've got bracelets, we've got wands, we've got special projects.
See, look at mine. I think mine more ended up.
Got it. Gonna try it anyway.
Don't forget to get deep.
You can also just do this. Buddy, come on. Come on. Got it. Ow.
If you had to venture a guess, just a guess, what you think the rule for cookies would be, what do you think the rule would be? One. Can we give a big thanks to our kitchen staff, please? We love grilled cheese, we love tater tots, we love pasta, we love warm cookies. So you have hit all the marks.
Before we get to clean cabin, dirty cabin, we have a very special new award a new category of award that may or may not always be given out, the Bob Ross Creativity Award. That goes to McKay 1 for McKay 1 tried to go for cleanest and dirtiest at the same time. Today's Clean Cabin Award goes to Hammond. The ladies of Manning actually used the dustpan as a dustpan. And the Dirty Cabin Award, there were lights on, there were name tags in the middle of the floor, which are still not on the person. The Dirty Cabin Award goes to McKay 2.
We once had a counselor named Tammy. And Tammy hated when her campers left their lights on. And if her campers left their lights on and she found it that way too many times in a week, she would simply unscrew the light bulbs. So consider yourself warned. Who's this? And there's the person who is very thirsty. Oh, it's gone. Who is the very thirsty person? Chris. Finally, someone went to their contract class and realized it was warmer out than they'd anticipated. And they removed a very easily identifiable item of clothing. And I have to tell you, for those of you that don't know, when the 3-year-old knows whose it is, not only did we leave this behind, it's also left behind with the logo of Dearborn High School. And what you need to know about me is that I am a rather fiercely competitive person when it comes to allegiances to sports teams. Myself, my sister, my father, my mother, my uncles, all graduated from Edsel Ford High School, the rivals of Dearborn High School. I would just like to state for the record that in order for Ethan to get this really ugly, that would be really good at wiping our tables, I think. Ethan's going to have to tell us the most grandiose, dramatic, outlandish story he can think of about how he lost his very ugly sweatshirt. Come on up, Ethan. I don't think you want to tell that to your mother about why your sweatshirt that she paid for is now a rag in the kitchen and the I'm also wondering where your shoe went.
Mason.
Also, why are you wearing that skirt? The beautiful skirt.
All right, Hannah. Why don't you go ahead and tell us the story?
Oh no, I just lost it.
He just left. Friends, we don't boo one another at camp. We just stay tuned. All right, we have 2 bingos this evening.
So, for my bingo, I would like the counselors to sing, please. And the thing that is on the farm, and this is why it's good to be counselors and not any of the kids, is dial-up internet. Oh, McDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had a dial-up E-I-E-I-O, with a old McDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O.
So I would like the God darling on this farm. Very important.
Old McDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on this farm they had a unicorn, E-I-E-I-O.
Isabel and Claire are celebrating their birthdays today. I would just like to make it list this morning to make sure I didn't miss any more birthdays. And I couldn't find any more birthdays this week at camp, and I said, seriously, we only have 2 and they're both the same day. And then I thought, I'm gonna think outside the box. We're gonna do half birthdays and sing half birthday songs. That'd be really fun. There aren't even any half birthdays this week. Well, by virtue of your seniority, you can go first. Who would you like to have sing happy birthday to you?
All of Halstead, Gabe, and Jordan.
Happy birthday, dear Isabel. Happy birthday to you.
Who would you like to have sing to you?
My church.
Ooh, Dearborn, come on up.
Happy birthday, dear Claire. Happy birthday to you.
You all may be familiar with something called Skip Night. Skip Night is approaching. Hopefully you've begun to think about what skits you might do in your cabins, in your contract classes, from your churches, or any other groups. Starting tomorrow morning, I will be taking names and titles of your skits so that we can put together an order and be ready to go for the most fabulous skit night ever. We already have an entry from the staff, and we can't let them put the camp to shame. So start working on your skits.
Also tomorrow, during supervised activity time, Ted will be at the Nature Center. We have some awesome things to look at down there. We get a little sneak peek sort of tonight, but there will be a special guided information session at the Nature Center tomorrow during supervised activity time. Today, we let folks cut in line at dinner who had family members with them at camp. Typically, that's the only way cutting should be happening in line for meals. Not because you want to stand with your friends from your cabin and they're up further in line. It's just like anywhere else. If you're at the grocery store and you see your neighbor at the front of the grocery line, you don't just go, oh, that's my neighbor, I should stand by that.
I totally do.
So when you get in line at the end of wherever it is, the line is at that moment. We need our random fact from...
You know that a koala has more neck bones than a giraffe.
We have male. Welcome to Free Expression. Listen, I have news for you. We had a counselors meeting today, and I said, who had campers sleep during H hour? And guess how many hands went up? All of them. So don't act like you're dragging and nutting on the vine. You took a nap today, you're fine.
It's called Koalaby. It's like koala and lullaby.
And I'm going to be doing gymnastics.
Fingerprints are everywhere.
Fingerprints are everywhere.
Just to show how much he
Christy does not have that unique talent. If she did, she'd be taller.
I kind of figured this out on my own, so, you know, if it sucks, that's why. If it doesn't, cool. Find a girl, settle down. If you want to marry, look at me. Holy Father, Son, and Spirit, Holy Communion, three in one. Holy Father, Son, and Spirit, Holy Communion, three in one. Come with your peace, with your invitation, bind us together in holy love.
Hello, friends. Welcome. Where we're going to pray for the beauty that's around us. So first of all, I want you guys to take a look around and kind of see what's around us. One seed packet.
As soon as you have your prayer, go ahead and talk with it or launch your stuff. And these ripples last forever, even if you don't see them anymore. Even if they become too small to see, they're still here. So they will be here forever.
Creating an environment that nurtures Christian growth and Christian life community.
We just wanted to pray in this station about those people. We've always talked about how blessed we are to have a support in all the friends and all of the family that come with you here to camp. And not everybody has that kind of support in their life. Not everybody can recharge like we can for a week and make it last. And we just want to pray for those people who might have a difficulty, and maybe they even come to a camp and maybe they don't get the kind of support that we receive, or maybe they don't have a chance to come to camp at all, and maybe they don't have that place where they can receive that support. We just wanted to pray for those people.
Over a lot of my friends today, and like the way we live, it's like having Christian values is kind of like looked down upon, and also, you know, it's not looked as like a respected thing. So I do think that that's because people don't get the support that they get like in a community like this. So I pray for them if we don't have the opportunity to reach out to them.
Drafting, so if you're...
Hi everyone, welcome to Fireball. Why don't you all stand up? I'm resting in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out.
Look not to your own interests, but to the interests of others. Let the same mind be in you that was in Christ Jesus. Though he was in the form of God, did not regard equality with God as something to be exploited, but instead emptied himself, taking the form of a slave. Now, an elder is not an old guy like me. That's not what that means. It means somebody who happens to be old. It means ordained elder. We have deacons here. Woo! But I'm the only elder. So we are going to stretch this out, and we are going to share as a community the institution of the communion elements tonight. And then those elements will be distributed by our deacons on Friday. So my message for tonight has to do with getting ready for communion, as well as that question of how would the world be different if we all thought and acted the same way that Jesus did, which is being servants of one another. You are all children of God through faith. There is no longer Jew nor Greek. There is no longer slave nor free. There is no longer male nor female, for all of you are one in Christ Jesus. And if you belong to Christ, then you are Abraham's offspring and heirs according to the promise. If you don't remember anything else about Galatians, remember that passage. Now that we have Christ, we don't deal with one another through the law any longer. We are one in Christ. There are no divisions among us. So the story. When I was 7, boy, that's a long time ago. My mom and dad, my grandfather had passed away, and my mom and dad bought the old family farm near Mesick, Michigan. It's still there. Somebody else owns it now. But we moved into this house that hadn't been lived in 20 years. And it needed a lot of work. There was no electricity, there was no water. We had to haul water in until we could get the well established and all of that. It was kind of an adventure for me as a little kid, you know. Scary old farmhouse, but I actually kind of loved it. I thought it was really cool. There was one piece of furniture that had been left in the house all those years. It was an oak table, maybe 4 feet square. And it had big old legs carved, you know, turned on a lathe. Big wooden oak legs. One at each corner, and I think maybe 2 in the middle. Kind of a mystery table to me. It was magnificent. And my mother said it was her grandmother's table, and she was going to keep it and she was going to use it. Well, I soon found out that we were related to almost everybody in that little town of Mesick. You all know where Mesick is, over by Cadillac?
Yep.
Okay. Well, look it up. And some of my relatives were just plain weird. And other people who weren't exactly relatives, but were real excited that my mom had come back to live in that town, because my mother was actually born in this house.